I spent over $200 at this Goodwill. Come and see the incredible finds I filled my cart with.
Let's go thrifting together today. I am outside of my favorite Goodwill. It's my little honey hole where I always do really well. So I would love to take you with me. Let's go inside and see what we can find to resell on eBay and Poshmark. And if you haven't yet, please make sure you hit that like button and please consider subscribing. Come on, we have so much fun here.
My usual route in this store is to start in the shoes. Today there was only one find. It was actually these True Lynx golf shoes. These are the kind of golf shoes that don't have spikes on them, but the comps were decent, so I did decide to pick these up. And now it's time to head to the back of the store because this location does a really good job of putting out new racks constantly while I'm there, and they had a couple ready to go when they opened this morning. The new racks can also help you quickly identify what the newest color tag of the week is. For me today, it's blue, so I'm definitely going to be on the lookout. The first thing I spotted was this super dry Henley. I know I had heard that brand, so I threw it in my cart so that I could look it up a little bit later and kind of keep moving with my thrifting. Turns out it's not worth much. I ended up putting it back. But my next find was actually this North Face jacket, which they did not price up. It was only $7.99. And after checking comps, I did decide to grab this one. My next find on the new rack was actually this Anthropologie dress. It was belted, but it was super plain and the condition wasn't great, so I did decide to leave that one behind. And then I think I stumbled on somebody's designer skinny jean collection because, man, when I first started reselling, all these Paige and Hudson would have been such a score. But these days, these skinny jeans and these brands just do not perform, so these were all left behind. But right at the end of the rack, it came through with an LL Bean sweater fleece. These sell pretty well for me, usually between $30 and $35. So if they're priced right, they're almost always a pickup for me. I'm trying to be better about checking out the purses. It can tend to be a section I skip. There was a bunch of Michael Kors bags, but they were priced up at $40, so I definitely left those behind. Let's head over to the jeans, where the first thing I spotted were these new with tags frame jeans, but unfortunately these were a skinny style and the brand Frame just has not performed well lately, so I definitely left those behind. But then I spotted these Good American jeans, and these were the always fit style where it has that range of sizes on there. And these are one of the few Good Americans that do sell really fast for me, so I did decide to grab those. And RIP to the Spanx pull-on leggings and jeans. Those used to perform well, but man, you cannot give them away anymore, so I left those behind. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, I couldn't believe it. Ula Johnson. I think this is only the second or third time I have ever thrifted this designer brand. And these were really cute shorts that are gonna be perfect for the upcoming spring season. And then I spotted this J. Crew skirt, and the only reason it really caught my eye is because it was brand new with tags. So when J. Crew is brand new with tags, I love to look up the style and check the year to see if it is possibly a good pickup. And there happened to be the exact same style in a different color, so I threw them in the cart, but they turned out to be an older style, so even new with tags, they weren't worth it, so I left them behind. I am really trying to up my vintage game at the thrift store, so when I spotted this vintage dead stock midi skirt with an equestrian print and sequins, I grabbed it, and right behind it were two more that were exactly the same. Again, they were vintage dead stock, and equestrian printed stuff does really well. So these are a style-based pickup. I'll let you know how they do. And then Old Faithful, the brand Athleta, my bread and butter that pays the bills. I grabbed these. These are usually a quick flip for around $30. And then I found some more Good American. These were like a high-rise like ponte knit pant. I have sold this exact style before. I'm not expecting crazy high dollars, maybe around 30 or 35. And here's an example of some Athleta that I do not pick up anymore. All of these like Salutation Stash leggings, the leggings in general, they just don't sell for a lot. So unless you're getting them for like $1 at the bins, they're just not worth it to resell. And then I spotted a new coat rack, so I had to go and check it out. I found this leather jacket, but they wanted way too much for it, so that one unfortunately stayed behind. And I love these J. Crew coats. I just sold this same one for over $100, but this was supposed to be a size 6. It's wool. It looked really shrunk, so it stayed behind. But I did grab this Patagonia Better sweater. I did pay up for it for a little bit, but I'll share my like overall cost of goods at the end, and I think it all worked out. I also grabbed this Levi's like Sherpa lined jacket for $12. Outdoor Voices is definitely another brand that in the leggings I definitely don't pick up anymore. I do still have luck with like their tennis style dresses. I spotted this super cute mod cloth coat, but at $14, I just knew it wasn't going to be worth it to flip, so I left that one behind. And then I spotted this Pendleton wool button-up. The tag said Sir Pendleton, so when I looked up comps, they looked decent. Not crazy money, but I did decide to grab it. This next hoodie caught my eye because the tag said that the brand was climate neutral, and I know people, are always caring about being sustainable, but when I looked up this brand, it was not performing well, so unfortunately, it ended up being a no-go. This next brand was new to me. It's Official Foxtrot Zero. I had never heard of it before, but when I checked comps, I was pleasantly surprised, so I definitely picked this one up. Moving over to the dresses, I did spot this Anthropologie jumpsuit, but this one was really plain. Anthropologie is very oversaturated, so I'm always looking for pieces that have a little bit more of a wow factor. I also spotted this new with tags Athleta tank top, but it was priced up and tank tops just don't sell for much. And I also spotted this Lafayette 148 dress. These definitely take a while to sell. This one ended up having a stain, so it ended up staying behind. And I actually really like selling new with tags and tailor, especially in dresses. This was a great style and the original retail was high, but my store had it marked up way too much, so I left it behind. But I did pick up this Alex Evenings dress. It's new with tags. It was marked up, but it was the half off color of the day, so I ended up paying up for it, but I think this one is going to go for over $100. And I am excited because we're coming up on Gretchen Scott season. These ruffle neck dresses do especially well for some reason, and it's kind of that like travel stretch style that people like because it doesn't wrinkle easily. These Betsy Johnson shoes caught my eye. They were so sparkly and pretty, but they were really priced up, so it was a no-go. Betsy Johnson in general, unless you find vintage, does not do particularly well. Now let's head to the men's section, where my first find were actually these Lululemon pants. I could feel that they were like a little bit better quality, and then I spotted the tag. These were a great men's style, so they definitely came home with me. Now this next find is a brand I do not hear resellers talking about, but they should be because it has over a 200% sell-through on eBay. It's the brand 686 Everywhere. These pants do really well. I have found them a handful of times. I also grabbed the brand I Be Cool. This is a polo. It's, people wear it for like golf and things. It's supposed to help keep your temperature cooler in hot weather. They don't sell for a ton, but I do like to pick it up. And check out these shoes. Sometimes I just love to imagine the person who wore these somewhere. And weirdly mixed in with the blazers, I found this Nation LTD top. I have sold this exact style before, so I knew to throw that one in my cart. It sold pretty well for me last time. I was considering picking up this blazer because it was 100% camel hair, but when I checked comps, it just wasn't worth it for the price that I had to pay at my thrift store, so this one ended up staying behind. But if you do find a camel hair blazer at the thrift store, I would definitely check comps on it. Some of them are worth it to pick up. And oh goody goody, more new racks rolled out. And when I went through this one, my only find was this vintage Abercrombie sweater. It's 100% Shetland wool, kind of that late 90s Y2K style. So I did decide to bring this one home. And one of my best thrift tips, if you're short on time or just any time, is always check the go back rack. I have found some amazing stuff. On this particular trip, I found this Babaton button up that I did decide to grab. So this next find was from the brand Whistles, which I don't have a ton of experience with, but I have heard other resellers pick it up. But when I was looking it over more carefully, it was stained, so I left it behind. But have you had any luck with that brand? These J. McLaughlin Catalina cloth tops are just like a no-brainer bread and butter pickup. The larger the size, the better it does. I still like to pick up these embellished Henleys from Free People when I find them. This one was covered in stains, so unfortunately it was a no-go, and it was a bummer because I haven't found one in a while. Cut Loose is also a brand I've kind of had to say goodbye to. It just doesn't sell for enough. Again, if I was shopping at the bins, that might be a pickup, but not for regular Goodwill prices. And wouldn't you know it, I found another Gretchen Scott piece. This dress was mixed in with the tops, but I was super happy to throw it in my cart. So that Gretchen Scott piece ended up being the last thing I found in this section. So now it's time to sort through my cart. And when I have a full cart kind of day, I like to grab a second cart that I can sort into while I'm checking for flaws, looking up comps on things I'm unfamiliar with. It just makes the process a little bit easier. And of course, I always take the hangers off. I want to make the checkout process as easy as possible. I really believe in good thrift karma, so I try to be a really kind and courteous customer. I always make sure to chat with the employees. Most of them know me, especially at this location since I'm there every single week. So now that we're all finished sorting, let's head to the checkout and see how much damage we have done.
Oh my gosh, you guys, that thrift trip was incredible. I'm so glad you came with me, and I wanted to share my receipt with you. So I ended up getting 25 items for a total of $217, which ends up breaking down to about $8.68 per item for my cost of goods, which I'm pretty happy with. Generally, my cost of goods stays between $7 and $8. I did pay up for a couple of things in there, but as you can see, when you kind of like put that over your whole like haul, it's not so bad paying up every once in a while if you find a really good item. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had so much fun, and I'll see you next time.